Well, good morning. This would be Thursday in the life of Jesus during Holy Week, according to the scriptures. And Sunday is coming. Of all of the events of Holy Week, the things that took place on that Thursday are the ones that we're most familiar with, the ones that we think we know the most about. So I trust that you'd have an open heart and spirit to receive this very simple video and allow it to be more than just a reminder of what happened that Thursday. The disciples were gathered with Jesus in the upper room, and the Passover meal had been prepared. And it may have been at a table very much like this, with them seated and everything very low to the ground. The Passover activity and the meal would have taken up a majority of the evening, maybe as much as three hours. During that time, Jesus is going to continue to teach his disciples. He's going to teach them who he is and what he has come to do, though they really won't understand it from just this presentation that he has. He's not only going to teach his disciples, he's going to serve his disciples. And he's going to serve them first by surprising them. And he's going to take a pitcher of water and he's going to pour it into a bowl, maybe a wooden bowl almost identical to this. And then he would take off his tunic, and then he would wrap around his waist a towel. Then he would go disciple to disciple, and he would take the water and he would ladle it over their feet and he would wash their feet. He was modeling humility, and at the same time he was modeling submission to authority. So these disciples were humbled by this, and this took place on the Thursday. As they were preparing and they were eating the Passover meal, which in our Bibles it's marked by the Last Supper. Jesus would have taken a chalice much like this, and he would have taken bread, and we know that he broke the bread and said, "This is my body that's broken for you." Then he took the wine and he said, "Take and drink. This is my blood, the blood of the new covenant." So Jesus would have once again humbly served his disciples. But while they were eating, Jesus let them know that there was going to be one who would betray him. And they all went around the circle. Is it I? Is it I? Is it I? And so by signal, Judas was marked as the betrayer. And we know that he got up and he departed the Passover meal. Clearly, Jesus begins to teach them now, not with figurative speech, but he begins to teach them concretely that he is going to be arrested. He is going to be betrayed. He is going to be murdered. He is going to be killed. But then after 3 days, he declares to them that he would rise again. Now, this is very late Wednesday evening, and at midnight on Thursday morning, Jesus will find himself in the Garden of Gethsemane with his disciples, sleeping before we see the armies come to arrest Jesus for his mock trial and for Judas to betray him. So I trust that maybe some of the things that you've seen and you've heard, and hopefully what you'll read in the scriptures would do more than refresh your memory of what took place on this Thursday, but it would cause you to glorify God in heaven for his goodness, for his sacrifice, and his grace. God loves you. Sunday's coming, and I do too. And we'll see you then. Ciao.